What are you?
No, officer, I had nothing to do with those pandas escaping.
Wake up! I'm gonna ask you again. What are you?
I could ask you the same thing.
You think this is some game?
You think it isn't?
Wow, cool.
Okay, so I know I have some explaining to do, and you're probably wondering why I'm here, and why I've been gone for so long. It's really a funny story. I liked the content I was making, and I liked the game. It's just really complicated. A lot has happened in my life, though, during the past few years. Both exciting and not so exciting. I don't expect anyone to remember me or really even care that I'm back, but hey, I'm still really glad to see you! I don't know, man. I just want to come back to making videos about silly animal game, but I worry I might be a bit too behind in the lore. I mean, how am I supposed to be able to catch up with what's been going on if they're still acting this hostile towards humans? Or is it me? Super Animal Royale tonight is a good way of understanding the park's perspective, but I'm sure there's more to it. Something's up, and I just wish there was a way of striking up a conversation.
Talk to them, you coward!
Oh. Oh. I guess. Wait, there's still people here to talk to after, what, 2-3 years? I thought for sure someone would have succeeded me in this type of stuff. It's just... oh, never mind. Hey, this game sure has changed a lot, so let's cover some old but common ground. Super Animal Royale refers to a battle royale in which up to 64 genetically modified animals fight to the death. The setting, Super Animal Island, is at an unknown location, but is confirmed to be somewhere in the Pacific on international waters, and it doesn't get more specific than that. Super Animal Island was funded in whole by Super Animal World, a mega corporation whose original mission was to create and manage a safari park in which the main attraction were these 5'2" 3/4" tall genetically modified wonders referred to as super animals. Super animals were genetically engineered to cross human DNA with animal DNA to create a being that kind of has a mind of its own, but at the same time didn't have any rights. You can probably see where this is going. Anyway, humans presumably loved these little guys, and business was booming for the Super Animal World Corporation. But at some point in the park's lifetime, something sinister was brewing that ended up causing both the park to close, as well as a major shift in tone. Right, but do we know what happened now?
Uh-huh.
Wait, they what? On the human.
Uh-huh.
Alright, thanks for the clarification.
Right, maybe Super Animal Royale tonight can give us a few hints. Oh yeah, SART is the official miniseries and in-universe live broadcast sponsored by Super Animal World. We don't know for sure when it began in universe, but we can safely assume that it premiered sometime after humans had already vacated the island. It stars Donk Patrick and Hal Michaels as they host what was originally a basic community clip show turned into a lore goldmine. For which exact audience it caters is unknown. This is because, well, Donk opens every episode with,
"Hello, super animals."
The rebels believe he's a
Filthy collaborating jackass.
in that the Royale provides
Horrific violence being forced upon our super animal brethren just to entertain the human oppressors.
My bad.
In the first season, we were also introduced to Cat 5, a SART intern who also acts as a mole for the Resistance, and even attempted sabotage via Lucky Cat Mine during Halloween. Now that I think about it, SART might just be one of the only ways direct human influence still remains on the island, which also explains the rebellion's constant efforts to manipulate it to spread its own message. You know, be it as it may, I actually kind of understand where the rebels' anger is coming from. Imagine you were forced to work a lousy job as a park mascot while kids got their sticky hands all over your fur. I do empathize a bit with them.
Baba Saba Waba.
Let's take a break from the rebels to talk super genetics for a bit. In Season 2, Episode 1, we were introduced to Dr. Jennifer Dogna, Super Animal World's lead geneticist and lab. She seems to have been the one to fully take over the genetics department of Super Animal World once it was no longer safe for humans to be there. Again, we're not quite sure when Dogna joined the team, but we know she had been an important part of Super Animal World's genetics department long before the humans were driven off the island. We know this thanks to the Super Dragon's origin story. Anyways, back to the rebels. The Season 2 premiere featured the Finch, who reveals himself as the primary leader of the rebellion, as well as setting their motives in stone. It's important to remember that Super Animal World is a business above everything else. They were making money like every other theme park before an animal-led resistance started an uprising that caused visitor counts to plummet. In true business fashion, Super Animal World saw an opportunity amidst the chaos. They changed their business model to focus on a certain controversial form of entertainment, a broadcasted battle royale. Thanks to Dr. Dogna's cloning breakthroughs, a super animal's only dead until the next cloning cycle springs them back into action. Facing a crisis, Super Animal World adapted ingeniously. They turned the battle royale into their main attraction, a twisted spectacle that got media attention and also free publicity while they were at it. As super animals fight for survival, it's not just other animals watching. The real audience is likely unseen humans, watching from the safety of their homes. This adds weight to the Resistance's claim that Donk is colluding with humans. But how is this legal? Did they pay off officials? Does Pixile Industries, Super Animal World's parent company, have extraordinary influence over the law? Will my wife ever give me the same amount of attention she gives the mailman? Who really knows the answer to all of these? Michael's mention of Super Animal World's location choice being based on gene manipulation laws raises a critical question. Was the location chosen for the safari park, or was it for the Royale all along?
Another lore question that you can veto if you want, Ruben. Does Super Animal World have any contact to the outside world at all?
Let's just say the supplies come in and out. They broadcast to the outside world because this outside world gets Sartanite.
But I did actually see a discussion of people wondering if they were broadcasting to the outside world or if they were broadcasting to other animals in Saw. So it's not exactly obvious.
Well, it is if you
if you were paying attention, it would be obvious, folks.
yeah. I mean, like there's the episode where Donk and Hal get captured by the SASR and are forced to do a kind of propaganda broadcast for the SASR. You know, they call it what do they call it? Humiliating super animals for human entertainment. Scooper. It's a good joke, but also it tells you actually a key piece of information, which is that yes, this is broadcast for human entertainment, but it also is broadcast in the island. So.
Back in CRISPRmas 2020, some issues arose within the SART cast. After SART correspondent Joe Cluck was abducted in a Rebel interview gone sour, he meets a Rebel chick named Peep. As we get to know her, it seems she was brought up by Rebels, but don't fully agree with their methods. She's the only one who treats Joe respectfully and spends CRISPRmas with him. How nice is that? It's short-lived. The Resistance tells SART that if they ever want to see Joe again, they have to give them 10,011 SAW tickets in a Mafia-style exchange, only with a lot less gabagool. Our favorite IT feline is tasked with bringing the tickets. The Resistance, not wanting to arouse suspicion about their mole, does the everyone tenant up equivalent of racketeering and makes a whole show about not being in cahoots with Cat 5. The Rebels end up taking both the tickets and Joe, so none of that mattered except that Hal seemed to be slowly dropping his guard against Cat 5. Okay, hi, I'm here,
in the editing phase. This is unscripted, by the way. I just wanted to touch upon the fact that when the camera cut away from Hal, his point of view seemed to look different than what was going on the ground, which I guess maybe sets an interesting precedent to what us as humans see when we play the game versus what's actually going on. So I don't know, maybe there's something different that's going on. Maybe they're not fighting at all. Who knows? It's just, I think it's very interesting that what we see from above is different than what's happening on the ground, according to this scene with Hal looking down on Cat 5 in the exchange. Anyway.
It's then we get to glimpse into the rebel life, something you can argue wasn't really explored in Season 1. Joe and Peep are just vibing watching Sart in a beach hut. No torture, no outlandish practices. Nope, just playing on the beach.
Buddy, wah-wah-wah-wah. Bafla-blabba-dabba, buddy-ba-dabba-da, and bubba-wah-baba.
This only perpetuates the entertainment by any means notion. Why else would they expose this poor chicken's DNA to countless minutes of live slapstick? Joe doesn't end up having much time to process this though, because Super Animal World raids the rebel base and they both get skunk bombed. Just kidding, they're fine, I got you, haha. Joe gets an opportunity to go home, but for once, he stands up for himself and hesitates.
Monet-wo-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-dawa.
That is a common theme in Season 2, isn't it? As Joe hesitates, Pete decides to... and they get left behind by the rebels. They are now factionless, and I believe this is where our two feathered friends start to question their loyalty to anyone or anything. Peep and Joe eventually come across the Joe Cluck clone they saw on their TV earlier. You know what? I'm calling this one Toe. And they pass out for some reason. We'll check back with them later. Meanwhile, back in the studio, Sart runs out of Joes to make their dispensable correspondent, leading Hal to storm over to Dogna's lab and demand a new one immediately. After some hesitation, Dogna ignores any sense of morale she had left when it comes to genetically modifying an abomination and accidentally genetically modifies an abomination. But hey, at least we have a new game mode now, as well as yet another Catbox track that makes me want to set the entirety of Mer Woods on fire while headbanging. But let's take a break from biology for a second and talk about architectural engineering instead. Super Beavers. They don't appear to be opinionated about what Super Animal World believes in or what the Rebellion believes in. In fact, they almost seem to assume the role of a contracted company that wants nothing to do with any of the conflicts between the two. Being the driving maintenance force of Super Animal World, Super Beavers are responsible for resetting the island after each Royale, as well as building the content that is brought with each new map update. Oh, also there's a silly musical number too.
Ba-da-dee-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-wa-wa. Ba-na-na, ba-na-na-na.
Super Animal World. Let's jump to a thriving theme park and now.
That makes me wonder if the diversion of the skunk gas was done intentionally to keep humans from getting too close. Either way, it proves that there's still a human interest in the island, whether it be for the sick entertainment of a Royale or not.
Peep tags along with a Super Beaver, Buck, assuming the role of his partner, Bernie, and we get to see what happens behind the scenes during a Royale transition. While they work, Super Beaver Millie rambles to Peep about the role Beavers play on the island, including how hard it is to get back into the groove. Yeah, no idea what that means. Maybe it's referring to a small transitional period between the Safari Park closing and the Royale beginning where nobody was employed? Again, not too sure. Your guess is as good as mine, so feel free to speculate with me in the comments. Other than that, we get more Thomas Sledison content, which is always appreciated. I may have gotten a little distracted while editing. Peep narrowly escapes being a part of the next Royale, taking Joe in tow with her, and poor old Buck, the Super Beaver, gets dragged into the Royale, which he honestly had coming. Oh, and apparently there's also a Super Animal Union, because of course there is. Moving right along, the next episode surrounds the story of Twinkle,
The star-nosed mole who didn't quite make the cut for being a regular delivery mole.
It's okay though, surely Dogna can help this underdog out, right? How are you not in prison?
Bafla-blabba-dabba. Ba-dee-ba-da-ba-da. Ba-dee-ba-wee-wa-wa-wa. Ba-dee-ba-da-ba-da. Ba-flip-lap-a-da-ba. Ba-dee-ba-da-ba-da. Mana-ma-flee.
Peep tries to bring Joe and Toe back to the Saw studio, however, that's when we meet Zoe. So now we have Joe, Toe, and Zoe. And when Zoe saw Joe and Toe, he was like, bro, and they all fell low. I'm not sorry. Anyway, Cat 5 ends up taking them all in and putting them each in a cage. That's when a new rule is introduced. He then threatens to eat the others, proving that bringing Joe and Toe back to such an oppressive establishment might not have been the best idea. Let's talk about ethics for a second. If memories don't pass between clones, can we morally defend the constant use of Joe's original DNA? What if each clone doesn't live long enough to experience any associated pain? I'll touch upon the topic of cloning shortly, but it's just now dawning on me that the Resistance might have a valid point. Meanwhile, some trouble goes down at the lab. Remember Twinkle? This is him now. Feel old yet? Welcome to the 24v24 rotating game mode. No, there was never a 32v32 mode, you're just crazy. And there goes Zoe. In front of Peep. She probably needs to book a few therapy sessions now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the finale. Peep is shown having literal night terrors around the death of her chicken companions. So, she decides to do something about it. Peep runs in to break out Joe and Toe, but runs into Cat 5 shortly after. That's when we finally get to see a bit more of this nerdy feline's personality shine through. What follows is a duel, the stakes of which are way too intense for a silly animal game. It's alright though, it's not like they do anything too barbaric to characters we still have much to learn about.
You alright, buddy?
Dr. Spotson, seeing what happened to Peep, creates Teep, a seemingly fresh super chick with seemingly no memory retention. Notice how I said seemingly. Joe decides to run away after a vicious zombie Joe attack. What happens to Toe? Don't worry about it, it's not important. Finally, Joe makes it to Pixile Port, where Teep is waiting for him. But Teep also appears to have an internal conflict carrying out rebel orders, despite appearing to be a fresh clone right from the Resistance oven. She ends up letting Joe pass, but not before making a quick, heartwarming callback. Wonder how she knew to do that. Joe escapes from the island by disguising as a human on the same boat from earlier in the Rebel Stormstart studio. That marks the end of Season 2.
So, who's up for another
So what could have influenced Teep's decision to spare Joe despite being a fresh clone? The way I see it, there are 4 options. A. Peep's memories transferred to Teep upon death. B. Intraspecificism, more on that later. C. Peep and Teep's common DNA. Or D. Just plain old plot convenience. Believe it or not, it actually could have been any one of these. It's a theory, you goofball. Anything is possible given enough evidence. This section, however, is going to explore B and C, intraspecificism, and Peep and Teep's common DNA. Intraspecificism. That is a fun half-existent word to say, isn't it? Well, it will likely make more sense once I break it down. The prefix intra means within or inside. Specky comes from species. Ism just means practice. What do you get when you put all that together? A noun meaning the practices that come from the result of individual organisms sharing a common species. What the hell do linguistics have to do with funny animal game? I'm glad you asked. We could start by taking the saying friends of a feather more literally, and assume that animals who share common DNA with others tend to share a deeper connection in universe. This could be seen earlier with the camaraderie between Buck and Bernie, the two super beavers who seem to have been more than just co-workers. Peep was a super chick. That also means that she shared common DNA with the Joes. Back in episode 2, Peep offers Joe health juice despite not knowing him personally. It's unknown whether Peep would do the same to a being belonging to any other species. I'm implying that Teep spared Joe simply because he was another rough and tattered chicken, resulting in Teep feeling empathy for another one of her kind. This theory also makes the notion that Teep didn't remember Joe, or at least not in the way everyone hoped she did. Okay, I know that theory was super disappointing, but with the intricacy of the Super Animal Royale biological universe guiding us, as well as our own, we can dive even deeper by exploring another possible side of the Peep-Teep coin. Let's start with a brief trip to the real world. In 1990, Thomas J. Bouchard and his colleagues conducted a study on twins, exploring the impact of genetics on behavior. Known as the Minnesota Study of Twins Reared Apart, this study revealed many insights into the influence of genetics on individual traits. The study involved over 100 sets of separated twins at birth, as well as the examination of each of their behaviors as they grew up. The results? An
equal chance of being similar to the co-twin in terms of personality, interests, and attitudes as the one who has been reared with his or her co-twin.
Now let's bring this revelation back to super animals. Just as the genetic factors influence the behavior and traits of the monozygotic twins in the study, could Peep and Teep's common DNA play a crucial role in her decision to spare Joe? If Peep was a forgiving, sweet super chick that we all love, could Teep taking from the same DNA pool result in a similar personality? That could also explain how every Joe Cluck appears to act the same, as well as super animals always responding into the Royale with a fresh attitude as if it's their first time. Food for thought. Or maybe it was just plot convenience, in which case, ignore everything I said. I'm just a crazy little guy.
What sauce would you pair your Peep chicken nuggets with?
Lean into
Buffalo.
the mic for this. Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna say buffalo sauce.
Where are we going?
You'll see.
Wait up. Bean!
Try and keep up.
I'm physically unable to jump like that, you know.
Not my problem.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
You do remember the skull cat, right?
Whoa. I do.
I'm sorry, no saba, fada. No saba.